For the past couple days, I've been doing my research heavily, writing everything down, reading everything, listening to the news, watching articles, waiting for the light of hope to come through. And so far it hasn't. So, first of all, today is Weird Wednesday. And for those who don't know what Weird Wednesday is, we do a lot of weird things here, alright? Sometimes we watch horror films, sometimes we do a try not to laugh, sometimes we do a vlog, it depends. So today we're doing something that we have never done before, and today I am covering a huge canon event that has been going on for the past 3 days. For those who have not heard, there is a submarine called the Ocean Gate Submarine Titan. They left on Sunday at 6 a.m. in hopes that the 5 onboarding members can take a look and explore the Titanic crash. They actually lost signal with the submarine around 90 minutes into its departation. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not really somebody who really looks into a lot of these things, but this thing has me worried some. Okay, there's 5 passengers aboard that submarine right now. The first one being a billionaire named Hamish Harding. The second one being Shahzada Dawood and his son Salman Dawood. These guys are from Pakistan. Apparently they're one of the richest and wealthiest families out there in Pakistan. And then the third one being Paul Henry Nargilat. And he's actually a Titanic great explorer, and he led 6 expeditions to the Titanic. And him and his company also own salvage rights to the Titanic, so they actually have the salvage rights to that entire ship. And the last but not least being the CEO of Ocean Gate, Stockton Rush. This submarine that we're talking about actually cost quite a bit of money to even get on it, and it's a $250,000 ticket to even ride down to the Titanic. Now, I don't know about y'all, but $250,000 to ride in a submarine to see the Titanic almost sounds like a trap, because you're going 13,000 feet deep below the ocean. Now, as of right now, these 5 passengers have aboard around 13 hours at the time that I'm making this video of oxygen left. Now, think about it, right? You're in a submarine, right? And while you're in the submarine, you actually have to control your breathing. So there's 5 of y'all. Y'all are in like a minivan, right? The windows are closed. You're 13,000 feet below the ocean. You're all the way down there. If you have not imploded already, for those who don't know what imploded means, it basically means the pressure gets too high and you end up just exploding down there. God forbid, I hope that didn't happen. But you're 13,000 feet below. It's deep freezing cold waters. The ocean is freezing, and the lower you go, the temperatures go low too. Like, the lower you are, the lower the temperatures. So you have to control your breathing in that sort of environment. Like, imagine doing that and just you can't even sleep. You're worried about whether or not you're gonna make it out alive if you haven't imploded already, and you're just trying to control your breathing. There's 5 of you, and that guy with the son. Could you imagine bringing your son on a submarine that you paid $250,000 for, and now you got to tell your son, I don't know if we're going to make it out? I hope they make it out, and I hope the U.S. Coast Guard, there's a bunch of crews aboard that are trying to look for them. There's a bunch of details that I want to share with you guys that I found interesting. I know y'all probably like, wait, Faye, this is weird. Of course it's weird. It's Weird Wednesday. So we're gonna go ahead and react to Fox 5. They just posted this 2 hours, and this is the latest update that they have on the entire submarine.
The tourist sub to the Titanic is still missing, with just hours before the 5 people inside technically run out of oxygen.
Fox 5's Robert Moses joins us in studio with the latest on the search and rescue mission deep in the Atlantic Ocean. Good morning, Robert.
So, Shani and Dan, good morning to you. This morning, there is potentially a sign of progress in the search, but with each passing hour, any hope of finding the 5 people on board alive dims. Early this morning, the U.S. Coast Guard said that a Canadian aircraft detected underwater noises in the search area, which is in the North Atlantic and about the size of the state of Connecticut.
Now, I heard about this yesterday, right? And basically, the Coast Guard were dropping out sonar little thingies, bottles, where you can hear people talking throughout the ocean, and you can hear little thumps and bangs and noises. So they heard something somewhere along that red circle right there.
Somebody today has heard some tapping. Now, they've got sonar buoys out there. There may be some other hydrophones that the mothership, the Polar Prince, had in the water. It's hard to imagine how they could have heard that, but still, they're at least trying to operate or encourage the rescue efforts to continue on and to be redoubled on the fact that they've heard something which suggests that the men are alive in the submersible.
And before we continue reacting to this video, I want to show and share with y'all an article that came out by the New York Times. So if you look right here, some experts fear an innovative submersible maker was cutting corners. For those who don't really know what that means, is they make these submarines, and believe it or not, it's very common that submarines go down to the Titanic and they explore it. You know, it's very common. There's very high records of submarines going down there and coming back up with no problems whatsoever, nothing going on, right? But however, Ocean Gate themselves, y'all not even gonna believe this. Titan, the last submersible from the company Ocean Gate, is a technological maverick based on novel concepts that differ from standard designs. Moreover, unlike most deep sea craft, Titan has undergone no certification by a reputable marine group that does such licensing for other craft, including one built by Ocean Gate that dives to the shallow depths. Picture this. You're paying $250,000 to go explore the Titanic, right? There's no licensing whatsoever that the submarine that you're about to get in for the next 9 to 12 hours is licensed for even to go down into the deep ocean. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Yo, bro, it's like y'all just paid to get your lives gone.
The news provided a shred of hope in an increasingly dire situation. It followed a report from Rolling Stone pointing to Homeland Security emails that rescue teams heard banging sounds every 30 minutes. Time is of the essence because oxygen could run out by tomorrow morning if the vessel is still intact and operating. The carbon fiber submersible called the Titan, operated by Ocean Gate Expeditions, is believed to be in waters that are nearly 13,000 feet deep or more than 2 miles below the surface. The 5 people on board have not been heard from since about an hour and 45 minutes after they submerged on Sunday, bound for the wreckage of the Titanic. This morning, there is word that a host of experts, including Ocean Gate's one-time director of marine operations, David Lockridge, issued dire warnings as early as 2018. Lockridge cautioned that passengers would be subjected to, quote, potential extreme danger in an experimental submersible. The company dismissed Lockridge's assessment at the time by saying that he was not an engineer and not hired or asked to perform engineering services on the Titan. The 5 people on board include Ocean Gate's CEO Stockton Rush, British adventurer Hamish Harding, Shahzada Dawood and his son Suleiman from Pakistan, and the French explorer and Titanic expert Paul-Henri Nargeolet, who in an eerily prophetic video warned of what could go wrong on an expedition like this one.
That 5 days is with the oxygen, with the food, with the water and everything like that, but we know very well that we will die before with the temperature. Because the real problem at this depth is the temperature.
Wow. It's almost like he foreshadowed it.
Well, you dive because of the cold, which is not a bad way to dive because you fall in sleep and it's not you don't suffer in this case. We know that, but we never think that could happen.
Oh my God. You know what? He's not wrong. If you died, you know, freezing to death, it's not a bad thing. But it would really suck because it's like, could you imagine being trapped and you can't get out? Mind you, the submarine is bolted from the outside. They bolt you inside. They make sure everybody's inside, safe and sound, and they bolt y'all with guns, like literally bolt guns.
The crew closes the hatch from the outside with 17 bolts. There's no other way out.
So you can't even, like, even if you were try to escape the submarine from the inside, you can't. Hypothetically speaking, you can't. And the moment you even let any ounce of water into that, even if just like it's a little tiny hole, you're gonna die. It's gonna blow up because the amount of pressure that you think about it this way: you're under the ocean, you have around 2 miles worth of water. We're talking, God knows how many pounds that is, just pressurizing into the submarine. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're trying to drain the ocean, and that tiny little hole is the only way you can drain it. The pressure built up is going to kill ya.
There are two ways for the Titan to communicate: text message to a ship at the surface and safety pings emitted every 15 minutes. The fact that both of those means stopped working less than 2 hours into this trip is not a good sign. David Pogue, who is a CBS News journalist who traveled to the Titanic on board the Titan last year, says that means one of two things: either all power was lost or a hull breach caused the sub to instantly implode. He calls both scenarios, quote, devastatingly hopeless. Tashani, back to you.
A lot of people praying for a miracle, Rob.
I personally don't want to believe anything yet because they already heard signs of knocking every 30 minutes. And you know what? Maybe that's a sign of hope that they're still alive and they're all managing to use their oxygen wisely. I mean, they're all smart men. Hopefully they're using their oxygen wisely and maybe we can get a glimpse of them. But it really does require a miracle that even if we do find these guys, pulling them out of the ocean. Keep in mind, the submarine weighs around, I think, 6,000 pounds. Let me fact check that. Actually, the Titan weighs 20,000 pounds. Could you imagine trying to pull 20,000 pounds out of the ocean from the very deep bottom? It's going to require a miracle. And to be honest, I'm not sure if today's day and age and technology has that ability. I think there would have to be some sort of science to work around it.
The optimistic scenario, and I would like to believe in that one, is that Titan suffered from a power loss, but they could still go back to the surface, and they have lost, means of communications. In the most terrible scenario, we are going to talk about weeks to get some very deep sea surveillance systems nearby and sweep the area.
I'm very clueless and I'm very hopeless right now for these guys. And I genuinely hope they make it out. It's crazy because this is a really part of history. And they were going down there in that submarine to see a part of history. The Titanic. For those who don't know, on April 15th of 1912, the Titanic set from the British runways all the way heading down to the New York, but they had an iceberg killing around 1,500 people in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, I did my research. I'm telling you, like I'm an experimental enthusiast on the Titanic. So they went down to see the Titanic, and now it almost seems like they're gonna be a part of history. Crossing my fingers. I'm hoping that's not the case. Oh man, it's definitely gonna be a tough one. And like I said, just all I can do is pray and hope. The odds are really not in their favors right now. This has to be a miracle from God, and may God be with them. Now, you know what's even crazier? Look, you see this controller right here? The submarine that is lost 13,000 feet below the deep ocean is controlled by this controller. Now, this is a PS5 controller. This is the high exclusive PS5 controller. This thing is, luxurious compared to what they have. They have a Logitech wireless, so they're relying on $2 batteries. They have a Logitech wireless controller to control the submarine.
We run the whole thing with this game controller.
Yo, I'm not even kidding you right now, bro. Could you imagine? Yeah, hey, let's hop into the submarine. Yeah, just go up, down, up, down, up, down. Bro, what? That's like multiple red flags. It's not certified. It's being controlled by a Logitech wireless controller. I don't know, man. It could be multiple things. All I'm saying is they got around, by the time you guys are seeing this, they have less than 8 hours left because I'm going to upload this at around 6. So I'm hoping the U.S. Coast Guard extends the time to find them and to continue the search, maybe for another couple hours, like maybe 48 hours. Can buy them more time. We are using a lot of our tax money though to deploy these aircrafts and every single piece of technology that we have, but hey, at least it'll help maybe save them. And yeah, I'm just hoping they extend the time to maybe try to look for them. Maybe there's hope out there. I don't know. It's got to be a miracle from God. But with that being said, guys, I know this is a weird video. I really wanted to cover this today. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys feel about this. I have a really icky feeling about it. And you know what's crazy? Even if they do find them, I really genuinely want to see like a documentary on everything that happened in that submarine for the past like 48 hours or however long they were stuck in there. And even if they don't find them, I would love to see them continue the search and the hunt for them, or at least maybe like parts of the submarine, you know, just so we can see where exactly they were when all this happened, or what happened, because this is going to be another part of history. Believe it or not, we're going to look at this in 10 years, 5 years, and maybe even 2 years, and be like, damn, y'all remember that submarine Titan that went missing and was later found? Nonetheless, I'm going to stop ranting here. Let me know what y'all think. I know this is weird. I just wanted to cover this. It is Weird Wednesday, but yeah, with that being said, I love y'all. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care of yourselves, please. Please take care of yourselves. All right, and yeah, have a good one, y'all, and goodbye.
Big anaconda, count a whole lot of, keep me some cash, cool matata, whipping it jet, this not a monster. I need some